Welcome to Digit. We are at the Moto Razr 40 series launch, the flip phone that is set to change or flip the script in the game of foldables or in the smartphone space. I have with me Mr. Ruben Castano, the product head for Motorola Global, and I'm going to ask him some questions about the Moto Razr 40 series, and he's going to answer me. Ruben sir, how are you doing today?
Very good. Pleasure to be here.
Alright, so I'm gonna start off with first I'm gonna ask you about what went into the production or into the whole R&D of the coming up with the Moto Razr or the Razr 40 series, and what went into creating something like this.
You know, more than creating just this latest generation, we like to describe it as a journey. This is in fact our fourth generation, and as you heard me say during today's presentation, we have over 1,000 data points on what consumers want out of this flip form factor as a smartphone. It starts with some basic ergonomic elements, like what is the right proportion, size, width that really fits the majority of consumers' hands worldwide. This is not just a specific region, it's worldwide data. What is the right aspect ratio for that main display? That's also what drove that both the main display and the external display are completely custom to Motorola. They're not off-the-shelf components. Then once we go beyond these physical elements, it comes about functionality and interaction. So even from the Gen 1, we had a pretty capable external display. Now at that time, we had some limitations due to dual screen support and the Android platform. Those have gone away. That also gave us confidence and also opportunities to bring the largest external display on any flip phone on the Razr 40 Ultra. We took full advantage of that. So we have dual screen support from the Android platform. Our challenge here to our own design team was, let's make sure this device can be fully used even when it's closed. And I think we've achieved and answered to that challenge as well. You can pretty much customize any application that you want to run on this external screen, or you can keep it as simple as simply using the external screen as a filter to quickly take care of things and then put the device away without getting immersed into that large internal screen. Only when you want to, use this one as a filter and go back to enjoying what you're doing, talking to people instead of being face down looking at your device.
All right. So my second question will be on the lines of what you just said. So do you think the bigger outside screen, would it increase the screen time of users, or would it decrease in the complete screen time of users?
You know, that the answer always goes back to the end user. It's their choice. What we need to do as a company is give them a platform that allows them to make that choice, that doesn't limit them. So when they want, they can do absolutely anything they want on that external screen. When they want to use it as a filter, it's right there. More than that, once we realized that we could deliver this large external screen on this device, we said, well, this is about creating content. This is about consuming content. This is about sharing content. So we enabled also multiple modes and angles on the hinge itself. So, you know, you can use it on a tabletop in this way. You can use it as a tripod this way. You can now record content almost holding it like a camcorder. Very easy to hold and capture selfies or capture group photos with the main cameras. It's once we realized that what consumers want is flexibility throughout their day, then the mission was very clear. We need to then enable the form factor to stay up with all those different modes of use throughout the day, and that's what we went after on this device.
Right. So what would you say a flip phone user primarily wants with their device?
You know, it's hard to nail it to just one thing, but I'll go back to the basics. I think it's in-hand feel, pocketability, easy to carry. And then the ability to magically transform into a fully capable smartphone just by flipping it open.
Great. Also, how deeply did you guys take a look as to the performance or battery implications such bigger screen on the outside will have? Was performance and battery usage a major part of the R&D that went down while making this or while coming up with something like this? How much does it affect the performance or the battery of my smartphone?
Right. So there's multiple things here to give you a complete answer. One, the platform that we selected, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, it's a platform that we already have multiple products developed on. So we have quite a bit of experience in terms of optimization for battery life. Then what we also realized once we gave all that capability to the external screen is that consumers, if they want to, spend more time on that external screen, and even if it's massive, it's not as big as the internal one. So the battery consumption on the external screen is definitely lower if consumers spend more time here. So those two things, I think, drove us to be comfortable of providing this massive external screen because it actually benefits battery life. We did more than that. We brought a larger battery capacity on this one compared to its previous generation, and we added turbocharging capability as well as wireless charging. So depending on where you are, what type of consumer you are, you have multiple options to quickly recharge by plugging in a cable, to charge it via wireless charging, or to use less battery, like I said, if you're doing more things on that external screen.
Also, I want to talk a little bit about the hinge because this is one of the first few implementations we've seen with this completely flat shut.
Correct.
There's no gap in the middle. So was there some special R&D that went into designing this no gap hinge that you guys call it?
I'm glad you bring that up because I want to make it clear to your audience. We invented this.
Okay.
The zero gap hinge and the way we fold the display in what we call a teardrop shape is proprietary to Motorola. We patented this since Gen 1, and the zero gap design has always been there on all our Razr smartphones. So there was no reason to move away from that, and something that we want to continue. Others have copied, others have imitated, but we invented it since Gen 1.
So did some of your expertise from the old generation Moto Razr come into play when you were designing this smartphone?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's been a journey. If we had not done the Gen 1, I don't think we would achieve the outstanding results that we have here on Gen 4. We might already have visions of what Gen 6 or 7 look like. So we know where we're going. Technology, components, the ability to do certain things, even with software, will evolve. And when all those elements intersect, we'll bring the right and the best form factor to market, but we're always looking a few steps ahead, knowing that we need to have a vision, and then we need to understand at a certain time frame what is the right one to execute and bring to consumers.
Also, since the international launch has already happened, are you happy with the kind of response the smartphone is getting?
More than happy. It's exceeded our expectations, honestly. In every market across the globe. Today we're announcing it in India. I was talking to the team during the event and right after the event. We went on pre-sales during the event. We've already started selling the device. A lot of excitement, and this has been global. Not only that, we see a lot of interest and a lot of users coming from not only the Android ecosystem, but from the iOS ecosystem. So it's all very positive signs, and again, they have exceeded our expectations. It's going very well in every market that we've launched it.
Who would you think is your biggest competitor in this space?
We don't like to talk about competition.
See, if there was one brand would you think are somewhere close to what you guys are doing, who would that be?
I mean, there's multiple brands, and there will be more in the coming months coming into the foldable smartphone space. As you saw during my presentation, it's a space that's going to grow exponentially over the next 3 to 4 years. So, instead of focusing on the competition, I think what we have to do is focus on ourselves and our consumers. That's the reason why we are launching this as a family. Why? Because there's a lot of interest in this form factor. We need to make the form factor more accessible to a broader range of consumers. And so we made some strategic decisions during the development of this device to create a common platform. They both share the same internal display. They both share the same hinge mechanism. They share a lot of the, the engineering effort. And this allows us now to be, as you saw during our unveiling today, to be quite aggressive in the pricing of our more premium product, but also be quite aggressive in the pricing of making this form factor more accessible and affordable to a broader range of consumers. So, let the competition look at us versus us looking at them.
That's a great answer. Are you guys also investing in a fold phone? Are we going to see a Motorola Fold anytime soon?
Yeah, I think you know my answer. We can't talk. I can't talk about future devices. What I can tell you is Razr stands for this. Razr stands for a flip form factor. And so as long as we continue to make Razrs, I think you can expect to see this type of flip form factor from us. Other foldable devices where a smartphone becomes a tablet, well, that's fine. There are consumers that appreciate that and need that. This year, we're focused on Razr and what Razr stands for, and it's a flip phone.
All right. So my last question would be, what is your favorite form factor? Would you rather have a clamshell like folding phone, or would you have like a proper folding phone that turns into a tablet?
You know, I'm in love with our flip form factor. I, of course, expected answer, but I'll give you a clear answer why. This goes from being small, easy to fit in my hand, very usable when it's closed, to being a traditional smartphone when I need it. And this device, thanks to not only its hardware but its software, our Ready For platform, this device is basically seamless with a Windows-based PC. So I can take a picture with my phone and I can paste it immediately on a PowerPoint or on any application that I'm using on my PC. Any application that runs on my Android-based phone, I can open as a native window on my PC. So to me, this is the perfect form factor. It's small, it's easy to carry, and now we have broken down the barriers between different operating systems. So when I need a larger screen, like my PC or my tablet, this phone is seamless connecting to those, regardless of their operating system. So why would I want something in between? A phone that becomes a tablet, when no, I already have my PC and I have perfect connectivity with this device. They are a perfect ecosystem together.
All right, so I'm sorry, that was my last question, but based on your answer to that, I'm going to have another question. What kind of software development are you guys looking at? I mean, of course, this is the first Moto 40 Ultra, right? It will come with software updates and all of that.
Yes.
Do you have any special plan in place? Are you working with any third-party companies like Google, for example, to enhance even this experience to a greater level?
Correct. Great question. So already on this one, we partnered with Google to make sure some core applications like maps, payments is a good example, music, render and work perfectly on that external screen. We will continue to do that work, but like I mentioned, the dual screen support is already there from the Android platform. So to our surprise, we thought we needed to actually do more with Google, and it turned out to be just a few areas to make the optimization perfect on this external screen. I'll give you another example, Spotify. So we partnered with them to develop a custom panel and a widget that runs on this external screen to have that Spotify experience, which is not only about listening to music, but discovering new music. That was a learning for us as well. You know, Spotify came to us and said, you know what, the way consumers consume music today is about discovery. It's not about listening to the same or similar type of content all the time. They love to discover. So we developed this specific panel where you can have your playlist, but at the same time, you can start to discover new music. And we will continue to do these type of partnerships to fully answer your question. Yes, now that we have a very flexible platform, the opportunities are pretty much endless to kind of tailor to different markets or different consumer needs. But the key thing is the platform is there. It's fully capable, it's fully flexible.
There's room to play around with it.
Correct.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. So, guys, that was Mr. Ruben Castano from Motorola at the launch of the Moto Razr 40 series. I will see you guys in the next one. This is Darab Mansoor Ali signing off. And do not forget to subscribe to Digit.